What's up, my friend? Welcome to another episode of Mix from Scratch, episode 4, where we're gonna be mixing a song from rap artist Veda, female vocalist. She's fire. I'll leave links to her stuff in the description, so be sure to check her out. Today, you're gonna learn how to mix female vocals from scratch. If it's your first time tuning in, I'm Macro from Mixing with Macro. I'm a professional recording and mixing engineer, and I've done recording and mixing for major record labels and many independent artists. My goal is to help you streamline your recording and your mixing process for fast and consistent results. That's mainly why I created a 5-step cheat sheet that will take your mix to a professional mix in less than 30 minutes. It's 5 easy steps that you can follow, and you can read through it in about 5 minutes. Check it out right now. It's in the description, along with some other goodies. Now let me show you how to mix female rap vocals from scratch. Welcome, my friend, to another mix from scratch. Today we have Veda, who is a up-and-coming star. She is phenomenal. Great rapper, very creative, got her own thing, got her own style. This is a record that we had the chance to lock in and do. I'll pull in the mix real quick, and then we'll compare the mix that we did in the studio and how we're going to redo her mix right here. All right, so let me pull that in real quick. All right, so this is our mix here in yellow. Let's hear it versus our mix. I'm going to disable all of my plugins. Yeah.
Damn, yeah, fuck on that, you know that I be killing shit.
Yeah, boom, cat, blitz, flat, hit the on me, let her on me, lights flash, cameras out, ready, ain't nobody tell me. Yeah, smelling in my face, looking like they wanna tell me. Feeling like I'm knowing shit, I'm feeling like nobody told me.
Our mix. Original mix.
Fucking told her, don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me.
Hard. She's so hard. But yeah, all right, so we're going to beat this mix once and for all. You know the drill. We're going to disable all of our plugins and we're going to go from scratch. So let us make this nice and small. I'm going to mute our reference here that we're not using, and now we're going to focus on our main mix here where we have the beat and everything there as well. All right, here we go. Now in the session I did a few effects here, so I'm going to leave the effects in so our job is a bit easier. I'm going to show you how easy it is to do female vocals, female rap vocals. It's actually very similar to male vocals, just with a few little nuances that we're going to have to focus on when we're looking to have a solid mix here when it comes to Veda. And if you want to check her out on SoundCloud, check her out on Spotify, follow her on Instagram. She's really fire. And if you rock with her style, I think you'll rock with her. She has a really great fan base. All right, so here we go. So the first thing I start with is getting the vocal out because we can barely hear anything here. I got my beat turned down a bit here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put the beat to 0 on the fader, and I'm going to turn down the beat from the clip itself, simply because it is in order. So the volume comes from the clip and then it starts hitting our meters here. Okay, if we turn down the volume here, we still going to have a loud clip. All right, that means our plugins are still going to be overloaded. So turn down from there is well enough. This is the part where I call mixing without plugins.
Trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me.
because this beat is extra loud. So we turn that down right there. We have it hitting at a good spot, and I'm gonna turn down the reference here, so when we go back and forth, when we A/B it, it's not gonna be super loud for us. So let's hear what we sitting at.
I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body.
So let's turn up the reference a little bit just to get a good level here.
I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me.
Alright, pretty decent. And if you're wondering which is which, just look over here and you're gonna see me switch in between. If you're wondering how I'm switching between so fast, I'm holding shift, and then when you hold shift M, it unmutes, and when you hit shift S, it solos. So I'm hitting it very fast in sequence. So MS shift, I have my finger down in shift and I'm holding MS, and I'm switching between my reference and my main mix very fast like that.
I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me. I'm in the tub, I'm pouring up, I'm feeling like I'm Winnie Bobby Brown. Damn Brown, I've been hearing things.
Alright, so we got the vocal up a little bit with our RVox. That's why I like the RVox. It puts it in your face, and it's a really nice plugin. The way it just does what it does. It's not complicated. It's very easy to understand. Just have the compression, and it has the gain, and it has the gate as well. So if there's a lot of noise in the background, all that stuff, you can gate your stuff if you choose to do so. So we got it at a good volume. Let's A/B the RVox so you can hear it.
I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they.
Nice. Alright, so we have our compressor.
I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me.
And if you're wondering about my chain and everything, it's in the description. Like I said in the beginning of the video, it's in the description, absolutely free. I show you everything. It's a simple PDF you can read through very quickly, and I show you all my settings, all my chains, the order in which it goes. I do it for not just my vocal chain, I do it for also my effects chains, my doubles, my ad-libs, everything, even my master chain. So be sure to go check that out in the description.
I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me. I'm in the tub, I'm pouring up, I'm feeling like I'm Winnie Bobby Brown. Damn Brown, I've been hearing things, that's the point. I don't know, I don't feel nothing, that's a problem. I can't stop like it's full of change, no for sale. Bitch, I'm working, now my mama see it. I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body.
All right, cool. And just to note as well, always start with your tempo. Always start with your tempo, because when it's time to do beat cuts, vocal stutters, when it's time to set your effects like your delays and your reverb, when it's time to fly vocals, fly hooks, that kind of stuff, your tempo is what's going to save you. So always set your tempo, because it keeps things very musical. And while I'm mixing, I like to go to the loudest part. If you're wondering why I just keep playing this section again and again, it's because it's the loudest part, so it's going to give me the most energy in the mix. So as I'm getting the most energy out of the mix, I'm able to set my levels, so when the energy dissipates, like for instance this part where there's no bass,
flash cameras out ready and nobody tell me
yeah, and the kicks are more sparse, I know that it'll still be good because I've taken care of the most energetic part of the song. Simply because if you mix in a quieter part of the song, just say you were mixing here and you're setting levels here, what's going to happen when the drums come back in, it's going to get really loud, and it's going to overblow your plugins, it's going to overblow your meters. So I go to the loudest part, make sure I'm still in the green when it comes to my meters in the loudest part and my plugins, and I know that I'm good for the rest of my mix. Just a quick tip there. All right, so I got my compressor in here, I got the RVox, and I got the RVox, and I have the R compressor. So let's bypass these.
In my body, they say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me. I'm feeling like I'm Winnie Bobby Brown.
I like to do my RVox first because it shows me what I'm doing. Like it lets me know what I'm doing. All right, it lets me hear the changes I'm making to my vocal. So then I want to start EQing. Now with a chain, you can easily do this, have the compression come first and then you start EQing. It depends on how you want to do things. I like to compress first because I get to bring things to the level I want. So when I start doing more frequency based things like EQing, de-essing, and saturation, I hear what I'm doing. All right, So we can easily do this and just have it work like that. So let's go ahead.
Don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me. I'm in the tub, I'm pouring up, I'm feeling like I'm Winnie Bobby Brown. Damn round, I've been hearing things, that's the point. I don't know, I don't feel nothing, that's a problem. I can't stop, like it's full of change. No for sale, bitch, I'm working, now my mama see it.
And the only thing, what you really got to understand about female vocals, whether rapping, whether they're singing, is that there are more S's, there are more sibilants. So you have to control that a little bit more. I am pushing a little bit high here because, and that's, I am pushing a little bit on the high end here. And that's why you can hear the sibilants here. So I'm going to pull back a little bit, just a little bit. So my de-esser in a later stage isn't working that hard.
Nobody fucking told her. Don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me. I'm in the tub, I'm pouring up, I'm feeling like I'm Winnie Bobby Brown. Damn round, I've been hearing things.
And with female vocals, you can cut a little bit more. That's what I love about female vocals. You can really cut a little bit more and really shape it, right? And don't worry, and if you're wondering why I'm cutting all of this out even though I'm not hearing it, there's no difference if you listen to it.
Nobody fucking told her. Don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody.
Barely any difference, right? And it's simply because all this space right here is making more headroom for when we get to the master stage. We're cutting all the volume out of here. So EQ is a volume plugin. It's pretty much a volume plugin. That's pretty much what it is, right? And we get to cut out a lot of unwanted frequencies that's taking up headroom space. So all this frequency area here, it's almost inaudible to the human ear. So we don't even need this in our mix.
Nobody fucking told her. Don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me. I'm in the tub, I'm pouring up, I'm feeling like I'm Winnie Bobby Brown. Damn round, I've been hearing things, that's the point. I don't know, I don't feel nothing, that's a problem. I can't stop, like it's full of change. No for sale, bitch, I'm working, now my mama see it. Now my mama see it.
Alright, so far so good. Once we get the de-essing done, we're going to go back to our reference and we're going to compare where we are, because I like to make sure that I'm still on track and keep the integrity of the main mix while beating it at the same time.
Don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me. I'm in the tub, I'm pouring up, I'm feeling like I'm Winnie Bobby Brown. Damn round, I've been hearing things, that's the point. I don't know, I don't feel nothing, that's a problem. I can't stop, like it's full of change. No for sale, bitch, I'm working, now my mama see it. Don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they.
So we have a lot of headroom here, so we can turn up the beat a little bit.
Don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me. I'm in the tub, I'm pouring up, I'm feeling like I'm Winnie Bobby Brown.
So on my de-esser, I usually go around 6K on my frequencies, but that's on male vocals. For female, I go a little bit higher. So okay to go a little bit higher, like 7K. We can really catch those high end.
Business when nobody fucking told her. Don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me. I'm in the tub, I'm pouring up, I'm feeling like I'm Winnie Bobby Brown. Damn round, I've been hearing things, that's the point. I don't know.
And while I'm mixing, keep in mind that I'm mixing at a very low volume. Like it's in my ear, it's very low. Okay,
doing business when nobody fucking told her. Don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body.
So I like to put a little bit of distortion. This actually sounds pretty good on her vocal. It thickens it up a little bit.
Doing business when nobody fucking told her. Don't trust that shit.
Alright, let's hear it compared to our original mix.
Nobody fucking told her. Don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me. I'm in the tub, I'm pouring up, I'm feeling like I'm Winnie Bobby Brown.
So she sounds a whole lot more present already. I'm gonna turn the beat up just a tad.
Nobody fucking told her. Don't Don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch. I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me. I'm in the tub, I'm pouring up, I'm feeling like I'm Winnie Bobby Brown. Damn round, I've been hearing things, that's the point.
Amazing, amazing. So we have her sitting very nice. We haven't even activated our SSL EQ here. And my other EQ that I usually have here, I don't even have it in. I haven't been using it a whole lot much lately, simply because it doesn't really add to the mix. Sometimes less is more. So if something doesn't need it, I don't put it in.
Nobody fucking told her, don't trust that shit.
Activate our EQ.
Nobody fucking told her, don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me. I'm in the tub, I'm pouring up, I'm feeling like I'm Winnie Bobby Brown. Damn round, I've been hearing things, that's the point. I don't know, I don't feel nothing, that's a problem. I can't stop, like it's full of change. No for sale, bitch, I'm working, now my mama see it. Now my mama see it. Nobody fucking told her, don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. Nobody fucking told her, don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me. I'm in the tub, I'm pouring up, I'm feeling like I'm Winnie Bobby Brown. Damn round, I've been hearing things, that's the point. I don't know, I don't feel nothing, that's a problem. I can't stop, like it's full of change. No for sale, bitch, I'm working, now my mama see it. Nobody fucking told her, don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me.
Nice. Alright, so based on how we did our thing, we didn't actually need this plugin here. What we're seeing here is what's happening before it even hit. What's happening on our analyzer here is before it even hit our EQ plugins that are way down here. This is pre these EQs. So if you were to put this on the other side,
nobody fucking told her, don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body.
it's different, right? If you put it back here,
nobody fucking told her, don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me.
see what I'm saying? So we're still seeing all this energy here because it's this plugin is happening before I actually did all the cutting on this plugin. So that's basically what we're seeing. That's why the order of things is very important. When you do things in a certain order, it affects the next step in the chain, the next stage. All right, so it's very, very important when it comes to levels, especially. That's why you don't want to overload your plugins at all, you know, that kind of things. And yeah, it's very, very beautiful. So we don't need this plugin. I just wanted to see something real quick. And yeah, let's do our effects and then we could wrap this up. This is actually pretty good because I recorded this record and I know how it was recorded. I know exactly which gear I was using. I know that it's recorded at a good level, so it's pretty much there. So let's add our effects in. So I went to find my perfect reverb on my Valhalla, and I do have a video where I show you how to find the perfect reverb there as well. So, you know, be sure to check that out.
Don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me. I'm in the tub, I'm pouring up, I'm feeling like I'm Winnie Bobby Brown. Damn round, I've been hearing things, that's the point. I don't know, I don't feel nothing, that's a problem. I can't stop, like it's full of change. No for sale, bitch, I'm working, now my mama see it. Told her, don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside.
And all this stuff is inside of my cheat sheet. Okay, so don't worry, everything is there and I got you. Check the description real quick for that. All right, so this is our delays. So let's mute the beat so I can hear.
Fucking told her, don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me. I'm in the tub, I'm pouring up, I'm feeling like I'm Winnie Bobby Brown. Damn round, I've been hearing things, that's the point. I don't know, I don't feel nothing, that's a problem. I can't stop, like it's full of change. No for sale, bitch, I'm working, now my mama see it. Told her, don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me. I'm in the tub, I'm pouring up,
Let's compare it to our original mix.
Don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me. I'm in the tub, I'm pouring up, I'm feeling like I'm Winnie Bobby Brown. Damn round, I've been hearing things, that's the point. I don't know, I don't feel nothing, that's a problem. I can't stop, life is...
Turn on the beat just a tad.
Nobody fucking told her. Don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me,
that is why I show you that you got to turn things down to make it loud. You feel me? I already have my master in set here, so I'm mixing into my master. So into my master plugins here, but you have to check here. What happens is, because we turn everything down, remember when we started the beat was at 0, I think we only had the volume down on the actual track, but now we send in less energy into our music aux, and that means that we turn down our vocal as well within our plugins. All right, I think this was all the way up here like 6 something dB, minus 6 dB. So when we look at these meters here, especially my trim, that's why I like to stick around the loudest part of the song, because it has the most energy.
Nobody fucking told her. Don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody.
I like to have it hit around -6, so we see I already turned this down here as well. This is the session that I did in the studio, where I have a lot of the same process here, but now I'm just redoing levels, just basic, and you can see how fast it is. You can mix something.
Nobody fucking told her.
So I'm gonna have this hit around -6. Between -6 and -3 is cool for me.
Nobody fucking told her. Don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me. Nobody fucking told her. Don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me. Nobody fucking told her. Don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me. I'm in the tub, I'm pouring up, I'm feeling like I'm Winnie Bobby Brown. Damn round, I've been hearing things, that's the point. I don't know, I don't feel nothing, that's a problem. I can't stop, life is full of change. No percent, it's not working, now my mama's. Nobody fucking told her. Don't trust that shit.
All right, and now our next plugin here, I'm just turning on my headphones a little bit, and now the next plugin is our compressor. But this R compressor isn't used to really compress something. This is like the glue, so to speak. This is the bread. So we got the sandwich, which is the mixes all the ingredients, and then this is the bread that goes on top of the sandwich and the bottom, and it's just squeezing everything together so everything doesn't fall out. Simple as that. So now we gave it more energy here. That means more energy is gonna come into our meters here. So let's correct that.
Don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me. I'm in the tub, I'm pouring up, I'm feeling like I'm Winnie Bobby Brown. Damn round, I've been hearing things, that's the point. I don't know, I don't feel nothing, that's a problem. I can't stop, life is...
Okay, so now we can turn this up since this is already mastered.
Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me. I'm in the tub, I'm pouring up, I'm feeling like I'm Winnie Bobby Brown. Damn round, I've been hearing things, that's the point. I don't know, I don't feel nothing, that's a problem. I can't stop, life is full of change. No percent, it's not working, now my mama see it. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me. I'm in the tub, I'm pouring up, I'm feeling like I'm Winnie Bobby Brown. Damn round, I've been hearing things, that's the point. I don't know, I don't feel nothing, that's a problem. I can't stop, life is full of change. No percent. Like Oprah, I'm not older, don't like Oprah. Why she always knowing business when nobody fucking told her? Don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't. Like Oprah, I'm not older, don't like Oprah. Why she always knowing business when nobody fucking told her? Don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me. I'm in the tub, I'm pouring up, I'm feeling like I'm Winnie Bobby Brown. Damn round, I've been hearing things, that's the point. I don't know, I don't feel nothing.
Do do a little bit of limiting here. Let's check on our
like Oprah, I'm not older, don't like Oprah. Why she always knowing business when nobody fucking told her? Don't trust that shit, don't trust that bitch, I don't trust anybody. Yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me. I'm in the tub, I'm pouring up, I'm feeling like I'm Winnie Bobby Brown. They around, I've been hearing things, that's the point. I don't know, I don't feel nothing, that's the problem. I can't stop, like it's full of change. No step, bitch, I'm working, now my mama see it. Now my mama see it. Anybody, yeah, they behind me, they beside me, they not in my body. They say they know me, that they owe me, they ain't grow up with me. I'm in the tub, I'm pouring up, I'm feeling like I'm Winnie Bobby Brown. They around, I've been hearing things, that's the point. I don't know, I don't feel nothing, that's the problem. I can't stop, like it's full of change. No step, bitch, I'm working, now my mama see it. Now my mama see it.
So as you can see, it's a very similar process to mixing male vocals, just a few little nuances, and you gotta account for the high end. And besides that, that's pretty much it. We have a dope song here by Veda. She's amazing. And these mix from scratch videos are coming in handy, and people are getting a lot of value from them. I could see from the comments, and I could see from what people are saying about them and the feedback I'm getting from these types of videos, because they can really see the process and how to use the PDF cheat sheet in different ways, in different scenarios. This is a really good scenario because we didn't have to do much, because it was recorded in a studio, a treated studio and everything, and recorded at a good level. So yeah, it is definitely one where I could show you real quick how to use the plugins and how to focus on levels and volume to see that you have to turn things down to turn things up. It's really good. All right, so that's it, my friend. If you got any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments. I see all the comments and I respond to everything. All right, share with me what exactly you want me to cover and I'll make a video about it. All right, so yeah, I appreciate you sticking through. I'll see you in the next video. Peace. That's it, my friend. Glad you stuck to the end. That's how you mix female rap vocals from scratch. Veda, great artists. Be sure to check her out. Her vibe is insane. And make sure to not leave this video empty-handed. Check the description for that 5-step cheat sheet that will take your mix to a professional mix in less than 30 minutes. I show you all my plugins, everything, all my settings, all my mixing chains, my mastering chains. Be sure to grab that before you leave. Be sure to leave a comment down below if there's anything that you want me to cover in future videos, and if it's you just want to say what's up, or you find something very valuable and you just want to share it with me, please go ahead. I see all the comments and I will respond to you. Let me know if there's any videos in the future you'd like me to do so you can learn how to make your mix sound amazing. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.